Hi guys, so today we're going to go over 6 of the best features Magic Lantern adds to your camera. Before we start, if you don't have Magic Lantern, I have a video showing you how to install it right here. Now, starting off the list, we have Arkanoid. Arkanoid is an old arcade game developed in the 1986 and in the spirit of Atari's breakout game from the 1970s. It's pretty simple. You just keep the ball from going into the void and break as many bricks as possible. Okay. Now let's actually talk about some useful features Magic Lantern adds. So, on-screen information. Yeah, that can be useful. Sounds boring, but Magic Lantern adds a lot in that department. You get zebras, you get focus peaking, you get things like histogram, waveform, and vector scope, which if you don't know what they are, the histogram and waveform are exposure aids in the form of graphs, and the vector scope shows color distribution as a UV plot. But it just shows you how much color is on the screen. As for zebras and focus peaking just shows you what's in focus. Pretty simple. Other than showing you what's in focus, you can change what color it shows what's in focus. As for zebras, it's basically the same thing as focus peaking except with exposure. So it shows over or underexposed areas. Oh, and it shows it with zebra stripes, hence zebras. All this stuff can really help with getting the right settings because sometimes it's really hard to tell if something's in focus or overexposed on your camera. Alright, so the next one is follow focus, and it's sort of useful but mostly just cool to have. So basically what it does is nothing what the name sounds like. Follow focus? Really? It just allows you to use the arrow keys to increase or decrease the focus distance. When I saw this, I was like, what, follow focus? Sounds like continuous autofocus, but it isn't. So yeah, it just allows you to manually change focus without touching the lens. Keep in mind you have to have autofocus enabled on your lens though. Okay, now we're into the top 3s. Or the best features in my mind. Alright, so number 3 is bulb timer. If you're into long exposure shots, you'll love this. All you have to do is set the shutter to bulb, then set how long you want the shutter to last, which could make them last up to 7 hours, 59 minutes, and 5 seconds. Pretty crazy. Of course, you'll need a battery to last that long, otherwise your camera will turn off halfway or so, or less than halfway, an hour and a half or so. Very useful for night photography. Not so useful for day photography unless you got some sick indie filters. Alright, now we're moving to time lapses. The intervalometer, the classic way to do a time lapse. It's a simple feature, and tons of cameras have it for free except Canon, unless you have Magic Lantern. So, if you don't know what an intervalometer is, it's just a little hobbit inside your camera taking a picture every set amount of time. Then you just throw it in a video editor, maybe adjust some time or FPS, and export it as a video. Bam, time-lapse done. Alright, this next one is probably my favorite, and that's FPS override, the healthy way of doing a time-lapse. It gives you complete control over your video's FPS. So you could have it as low as 0.155 FPS, which you would just play back at like 30 FPS and get a fast time lapse, or go back to normal to like 30 or so. Now, I love this feature because it gives you a time lapse in video format, which means you only get one shutter actuation instead of hundreds of like thousands per time lapse. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, give me a like. And if you want more content like this, subscribe. Bye.